So you want the cost-saving benefit of an electric vehicle, but you don't want the inconvenience and hassle of a fully electric vehicle. You should check this out. Brand new RX450H Plus. Alright, a little bit of wheel spin. This thing gets to 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 6.2 seconds, which is actually not too bad for a vehicle in this class. Powering the RX450H Plus is essentially the same powertrain as the NX450H Plus and the RAV4 Prime. It combines a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated inline-4 Atkinson cycle engine with 2 electric motors in the front and 1 electric motor in the rear, giving this vehicle standard electronic all-wheel drive. The motor is essentially the same as the RX350H, but with the bigger battery pack. It's 18.1 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery that sits underneath the rear seats, and it allows this SUV to drive up to 37 miles on battery range only. Once the battery does deplete, you will transition into hybrid electric vehicle mode, so it just acts like a regular hybrid RX. With a full charge and a full tank of gas, you get about 540 miles of total range. Right now it is about minus 7 degrees Celsius, so it's really cold. We have the heater on the entire time, and we've been getting about 50 kilometers of range, which is about 30 miles. It's actually not too far off from the rated range. The engine alone makes 180 horsepower and 168 pound-feet of torque, but once you combine that with electric motors, it makes a total of 304 horsepower, while the total torque output is unknown because Lexus doesn't tell you. The 304 horsepower is a little bit less than what you'd find on the RX500H, hence why it's the 450H, but this is the powertrain to get, in my opinion. 304 horsepower is more than enough power to get you around town. You can zip around traffic pretty quickly, and you can still have a little bit of fun, but you do get that benefit of the plug-in electric powertrain. There's pretty much no delays, no latency, just tap the gas and the car just goes, because you do get that on-demand electric torque. The beauty of the PHEV setup is that 37 miles is typically enough range to get you around town and for most people's daily commutes. You get home and you charge again and you have a full battery again for the next day, so you'll barely even touch your gas tank. Occasionally when you do go far, it's a lot more convenient and stress-free to use your fuel tank. You just get the freedom and reassurance of gas stations instead of having range anxiety and stress with a typical fully electric vehicle. Not to mention that charging on road trips is actually very expensive. Typically, paid electric charging at a level 3 charger is actually more expensive per mile than filling up a car. And you really only get the cost benefit of an EV charging at home. So with something like this, you get the benefit on both ends. Charging this thing during off-peak hours here in Ontario costs about $1.26 for a full battery, which gets you about 35 miles of range, which is about the fifth of the cost of fuel for the average car. This car does average 86 mpge. However, when the battery is depleted, you will get a combined mpg of 35 miles per gallon, with 36 in the city and 35 on the highway, which is still pretty impressive for the size of this SUV. Also, to charge it, you can just use the onboard plug and just plug it into any 110 volt outlet, and it will charge from empty in about 12 hours. However, if you do get a 220 volt level 2 charger, you can charge the thing in about 2.5 hours. This car does use an electronic CVT, and it pairs perfectly with this powertrain. It's smooth and there's pretty much no delays. You just tap on it and you have pretty quick power right away. With the engine on, it's actually a fairly noisy motor. You can hear it a little bit, but when you do let go of the gas, it tends to go back into EV mode and it becomes completely silent. And because these windows are double pane, it's actually extra quiet in here. You can still hear a little bit of wind noise, especially with how windy it is right now, but it's still relatively quiet. You also have a button here which you can use to switch into hybrid vehicle mode or in just EV mode only in case you want to preserve your battery for like later use. And there's also an auto button which the car just figures it out automatically when to use gas and when to use the battery. You also have your drive modes, which let's put it in sport mode. See how it handles right here. Pretty quick actually. It handles well. It feels pretty planted to the ground. It doesn't handle as well as like a BMW X5. The steering is on the lighter side, but it feels like a pretty well balanced chassis. The linear power band also makes it kind of fun. Only gripe is the tires. These Alenza all-season tires are not that good. The direct 4 all-wheel drive also comes on when you need it. It still primarily stays in front-wheel drive mode most of the time, unless it feels like it needs that extra grip, and then it will kick on. So sometimes you can actually feel a disconnect between the front-wheel drive and the all-wheel drive, but you really won't feel it unless you're like hammering around the corner. You also get great visibility in here. You have Lexus Safety System 3.0 Plus, which comes with pre-collision system with intersection support technology that can slow a vehicle when it detects a pedestrian in its path. You also got your lane change assist, your automatic high beams, you got your emergency driving stop system, deceleration assist, lane departure alert with steer assist, and your full speed dynamic radar cruise control with your road sign assistance, which will display any road signs that it picks up on your heads-up display and your dashboard. There are a ton of features that keep the Lexus RX safe. You also get this amazing 360 camera, which does look really nice. You can activate it when it slows down. You can also see underneath the car. There aren't that many views though, but it does look really good. You also get your automatic parking in case you don't want to park yourself either. And it actually works really well. Also, the doors are digitally latched, so if there's a car coming while you're parked on a road or a bike coming, it'll prevent you or any passengers from opening the door when there's something approaching. We do have this 450H Plus in the Cloudburst gray color. It does look pretty good. You cannot spec this out in the F Sport model because it only comes in a luxury trim, but you don't get a whole lot of chrome. You do get this aluminum finish, and you get that one integrated grille look, which does look pretty cool. You have the optional triple beam headlights here as well, which is standard on the luxury trim. You also have your 360 camera, your radar, and you do get fog lights here as well. On the side of the headlight, it does look like this piece is part of the light, but it's actually just a piece of plastic that's gloss black. Probably a sensor somewhere there. Coming around to the side, we do get these massive 21-inch wheels wrapped with the Bridgestone Alenzas. They're not really great tires, but the wheels do look pretty nice. On the side here, you do get some chrome on the window trim and some chrome on the mirror cap, but that's pretty much the only chrome that you find on the RX450H. Coming around to the rear, we do get this strip LED style tail lamp, which looks pretty cool. We do have a hands-free lift gate in the back, completely powered. The loading height is relatively high because we do have an electric motor back here. You get a 120 outlet back here, and you have these powered folding seats, and they're also powered to raise. There's 30 cubic feet with the seats up, and when the seats are down, it opens up to 46 cubic feet of space, which is pretty average for the class. Inside the RX, we do get this really nice interior. It's actually really premium in here. You do get this peppercorn leather seats. They are ventilated and heated, and you do get the ultra suede on the side as well. You also get ultra suede and some really cool patterns on the door sill as well. And you have the Lexus digital latch door, which you can just press to open. The dashboard is a 7-inch non-fully digital dash, which it would have been nice if they had a fully digital dash like they do in some of the other models, but you do get the analog gauges on the side and you get a digital dash in the middle. You can shuffle through quite a bit of things, including your G meter, your music, and all that, but to control most things, you're going to be using these touch pads, which you can view on your heads-up display. So when you just hover your fingers over them, you can see what it's displaying. And on this side, you have your adaptive cruise control systems. And when you press the page button, you can go in through your custom settings, which you can customize whatever you want. I have it set to Eco, Normal, Sport, and the camera button. So I just press it, and you can see the camera view right away. On the side, you're going to control the multimedia system. So it's actually a really good system to use. Over the middle, you do get your massive 14-inch display, which is actually a really nice system. Pretty much the same as every other Lexus or Toyota. You can customize a few things. It's a really simple system. Your climate control is going to be pretty much all on the screen except your physical climate control knob. Click climate to see more things. You got your heated seats, ventilated seats, and your heated steering wheel here. You also get customizable ambient lighting. You have all these themes, but you can just customize the exact color you want. It does look pretty nice at nighttime. And this is also the key for pretty much all the new Lexus cars. You can triple press the lock button to remote start the vehicle. It's a pretty solid key and it looks pretty nice. Nothing really to complain about. You do get 2 USB-C ports here, another USB-C port and another USB-A port, as well as your wireless charging pad. So you shouldn't run out of battery when you're in this car. You have this brand new shifter, which is this little knob, but I like it a lot more than a rotary knob or buttons because you can just push down to go and drive, push forward to reverse. Middle is neutral, and then P for park. Over here you do get your brake hold and your parking brake traction button and your off-road mode button and your HEV hold charge switch mode. You do also get your completely digital mirror up here. You can just switch it to go back into regular mirror mode, but I like it. You do get your panoramic sunroof. You also got your Mark Levinson surround sound speaker system, which do sound really nice. And you also got a button here to move the seat back and forth in case you want to preset the seat for the passenger. Oh, and you can also fold down your rear seats from the front. So just press and move, and the rear seats will drop. And you can also raise them back up. The material in general does feel really nice. You do get your soft knee pad here, you got your stitching, you got your wood up here, and you have a little bit of gloss black in the places that you don't typically touch though, except for the buttons here, because they do scratch a little bit easily. But other than that, the interior feels pretty solid. Hopping into the rear, the opening is pretty wide. The doors open almost 90 degrees. You got a low step-in height, and it's pretty high up here too, so you won't hit your head. Plenty of space back here. The materials in the front also carry out to the back, which is nice. You get your soft padding, you got your ultra suede here, your Mark Levinson. You also got your sunshades back here, which is nice. Massive panoramic sunroof. And these seats are also heated and ventilated, and they are power reclinable. So it's a pretty nice touch. You usually don't find that in the rear seat of many cars. You got your USB-C ports, and you also got your digital latch door handles back here as well. Headroom's good, legroom's good. It's definitely gotten a lot bigger than the last gen. Because it's only available spec'd out in the luxury trim, it does start at a fairly steep price at just under $69,000 in the US, which our fully equipped model is about $75,000 or $91,000 in Canada. For $75K though, it's actually about the same price as a fully equipped 500H, which does have more power, the adaptive suspension, F-Sport appearance, so depending on your preference and needs, you can decide between the two. The RX450H Plus would be my pick though. I like the idea of low-cost commutes with the all-electric 37-mile capability, but I also love freedom. Freedom of travel without range anxiety, headaches, and sitting at a charging station for hours on a road trip. With this car, you not only get this great powertrain, you get a solid blend of tech, luxury features, and refinement you'd expect from a Lexus. That's all guys, thanks for watching. If you're interested in watching the RX500H, you can check it out right here.